And we are live. What is going on, tribe? What's going on? Look, I got one from Men Need to Be Heard. Um, he's talking some good stuff over here. It does seem like women don't really notice the shift in dating right now. It's like they know that there's something different about us, but they're still trying to gaslight us. Like they can't see that we, you know, completely uh, have decided to change where we're doing things and the way we're moving. But with no further ado, I know this dude didn't just start cutting grass as soon as I started this live stream. I know he didn't just start as soon as I started this live stream. Let's get it going, man. Go talk to my neighbor.
As I'm recording this in 2024, it's that the dating scene has changed. The entire dynamic of what used to be is now gone. And if we're being fair, we have to give credit where credit's due and say that it's women
Smash that
who
like
have
button.
largely changed the dating scene, who have made it what it is today. The problem, however, is the women who get that credit, and deservedly so, didn't change it in the way they thought they were changing it. To borrow a phrase, what they thought was going to be a blessing is turning out to be a curse, which is why they're making videos like this one.
A coffee date is low effort.
Ah, yes, the infamous coffee date, the thing men are now offering to women as first dates, the thing that most of today's modern women are absolutely appalled that men have turned to, because as she said, they view it as low effort. You see, they're still stuck in the 1950s and 60s, or perhaps to put it better, what they thought happened in the 1950s and 60s, when men, at least in their minds, took women out on expensive first dates, laid it all out there, did everything they could to impress them. The reality, however, was anything but. Back in my day, when I first started dating, the traditional first date was you would go to the mall, maybe get something at the food court, and then go see a movie. That was pretty much it. And it probably cost him anywhere from $10 to $15, which I think all of us can agree is a pretty far cry from the hundreds, if not thousands, that today's modern women expect men to spend on them. But see, that doesn't make modern women feel good. And as we all know, it's all about the feels for them, which
Absolutely.
is why they then go on to say things like this.
It means that the guy likes you enough to buy you a cup of coffee, but he doesn't like you like that. He doesn't like you enough to
Look at
plan
these
a proper
leftovers.
date.
Oh my, this is just another example of how women try and educate other women
Leftovers.
on what men think and feel, what men's actual intentions are. And as is the case 999,999 times out of 1 million, she gets it dead wrong. Now, to be fair, she is correct on one point. He does like her enough to buy her a cup of coffee. He does like her enough, and this is the key point, ladies, to do a risk assessment, to see if the risk of pursuing a relationship with her is worth the reward. And the reality is, ladies, and this one's really going to set you off, most of you aren't worth the risk. And that's why men are only offering coffee dates now. Because you see, ladies, while you're all about the feels, men are about the logic. And that first date for them is a risk assessment, not a romance novel. He is interested in trying to find out more about her and see if there's a connection. And a cup of coffee does all of that. In fact, more, because it tells him right off the bat if she's a high.
Now, of course, this is for men that are out there dating. If you're in monk mode, obviously this doesn't apply.
Maintenance woman or one worth pursuing. Notice I didn't say high value. I said high
That like
maintenance,
button.
because if she's expecting expensive dates and him to go all out to impress her on the first one, she's making it very clear right up front. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. She couldn't care less about him. It's what she can extract from him, which is further proven by when they say things like this.
To try to impress you, to try to wow you.
Oh, sorry, honey, but there's no need for us to try and impress you. You've all seen. Men don't need you. They want you, but don't need you.
There it is.
Contrary to what we're around trying to convince each other of.
Just like he said, we're independent and we need no woman. Now we want you, but we don't need you. Okay? You know what I'm saying?
Because, women know better than men how men think and feel. Men can do just fine without women in their lives. In fact, they do day after day by the millions. We can feed ourselves. We can do our own laundry. We can earn our own money. We can do all the things that most of you think we are completely and utterly incapable of doing. And not only can we do it, more often than not, we can do it better than you. And men know that, which has created a seismic shift in the dating scene, one that women still aren't ready to accept. And what is that shift? That the shoe is now on the other foot. It's on
Bingo.
you to wow us. It's on you to impress us. It's on you to prove yourselves worthy of our interest. Hence, that first coffee date. There's your opportunity to do so. An opportunity most women fail because, well, in their minds, it's not good enough, which is a signal to men that she's not good enough.
So when you go on a coffee date, you need to be aware that the man is not sure about you.
Yep.
He's going to be evaluating to see if you're worth him spending more on you.
You're close, but no cigar. He's not assessing to see if you're worth spending more money on. He's assessing you to see if you're worthy of pursuing a relationship with.
Facts.
Two entirely different things to men. Though, let's be honest, for women, as I said earlier, it's all about the money. It's strictly a business
It
transaction.
really is.
Which is why she's thinking this way. It's why she has the mindset that it's all about how much money he's going to spend.
And remember what he's saying. It's all about the money. Now, again, it's not necessarily, we're not bashing them for it. That's the way women move. They got to make sure they're secure, but it's about the money. You need to be working on your bag and making sure that you're not going to let nobody knock you off mentally, regardless how she looks. It's about your bag, man. Once you get your money right, they'll be around, man. It's not everything else that you have going on with you, man. Women will put it to the side for the bag. I'm telling you, man. Get your money right.
And on her.
He's not that worried about impressing you either.
Again, you get it completely wrong. You're showing once again you have no idea how men think, because he is worried about impressing you if, and this is the key thing, if he thinks you're worthy of him putting in the effort to impress you, which again doesn't require a planned out expensive date. Coffee date more than suffices to determine that.
So make your choice. You decide if you want to go there and prove to this guy that you are worthy of a better date, or if you're okay with him buying you a cup of coffee so he can decide how he feels about you.
I actually agree with her. It is on the woman to make that decision, but I'd put it a little differently, because the choice comes down to one of two things. Are you so self-absorbed, so narcissistic, so entitled that you think a man needs to go all out and spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on you to woo you on the first date before either one of you is determined if you're compatible? Or you can step back, realize that all you need to do is get together for an hour over a cup of coffee to make that same determination, because that's what it comes down to. Sadly, most of today's modern women are making the former choice, which is why men are walking away and done with them, why they're not asking you out, and certainly why they're not taking you out on expensive first dates. Because any woman that has that expectation is showing she's high maintenance and low value. She's never going to be in it for anything more than the money. And if men are going to spend that kind of money, trust me, ladies, there's other ways they can spend it that'll make them a lot happier, a lot healthier, and not have to put up with all the drama. That's the reality, ladies, and it's why dating has changed, which means you can either double down like you all are doing or go about making some changes, taking some ownership, some accountability and responsibility, and accepting that men are worthy, that they aren't something for you to pillage for your amusement, that you need to bring something to the table just as much as they do. Because contrary to what you believe, this ain't all that.
You guys make sure you subscribe to Men Need to Be Heard. It's a dope channel. Also follow him on TikTok. He definitely be going in. Now, do you agree? You disagree? Let's chop it up in the comments. I've also noticed an intick in women that are going off on me in the comments. I appreciate the energy, and the engagement. So continue to do what makes you feel better. All right, let's keep it trucking. I got another video. I think I do.
But if I just happen to have the nerve to agree with the woman that says she's average, then I'm Satan. I think that's interesting.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we're going to explore why some women don't understand why men don't want them. We'll also discuss women's respect toward men and how many say they can't find a good man. Could it be they're looking in the wrong places or that the good ones are already taken? If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and
That's right.
subscribe to
Hit
the
that
channel.
like button and subscribe,
Join the
y'all.
movement and add your 2 cents. It's the only contribution we ask for, brother. Share your experiences in the comments to guide other men.
Absolutely. And make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button, y'all.
Without further ado, let's get started.
If a woman needs love, a man needs respect. Right. But it's almost easy for us to say, well, he can get my respect when he earns it. Wow. Right. Can you imagine if your husband said she can have my love when she earns it? Just as much as women need love, your husband needs respect. Right. Not only was he created to be able to need this, to receive it, he was built that way. He's going to be drawn to the places where he actually does receive it. That's right. Whether it's his workplace, you know, some of us are like, why is he always out of the house? Why doesn't he like to be at home? Why does he always feel so grumpy or look so grumpy when he's at home? But then for some reason, when we're out with his friends or when he's at work, he's thriving there. You see so much joy in him. It's because he's receiving respect. He's going to find respect in the relationships where he receives it. And if that's the case, we've got to figure out a way to understand that there is a true need for a man to be able to receive respect. That's good.
Let me explain why this happens. Once, an uncle of mine, watching how I interacted with my girlfriend back in the day, told me a phrase that stuck with me. Nephew, learn to show weakness in your needs and strength in your boundaries. And there's the key, my friends. Nowadays, many men are strong in their needs but weak in their boundaries. First, let's talk about those boundaries. When you're in a serious relationship with a woman, it's essential to discuss your red lines, those things you won't tolerate even in your wildest dreams. It could be that you don't allow disrespect like her raising her voice at you, those girls' trips that seem straight out of a movie, male friends who might have other intentions, not answering.
Gentlemen, I got a lovely young woman asking a question that many women have. Let's hear what it is.
Why do men have this irrational fear that women are going to use them for money that they don't have?
Oh, the dripping condescension. Did you hear it? Irrational fear. It's irrational to worry that you might lose everything if you get involved in a relationship with a woman. I mean, apparently no guy has ever lost anything after a relationship with a woman has ended, because the only way that fear would be irrational would be if indeed that statement were true. Yet we all know it's not. I mean, I myself lost everything in a divorce, and I've had many friends who've lost everything in divorce. And oh, by the way, those other millions of men that have gone through divorce, guess what? They've lost everything too, which means her claim that men's fear is irrational is, well, yep, you guessed it, irrational. But let's see what else she has to say.
Like, sir, you have lawn chairs in your living room. You are safe.
You know, I laugh every
Why does she
time
care?
I hear women make this claim. They actually believe that all single men, really all of them, have lawn chairs as their furniture, which is laughable at best. But here's the point that she doesn't want to hear. It's not about where you're at now. It's where you're going to be in the future. Because let's say you're a young couple in your early 20s. You decide to get married. Yeah, at the time you might be broke or have very little. That's the way almost all of us started out. But over time you build things up. You grow a family, you buy a house, you get a nice car, you start building your retirement, and you start enjoying life. And then she gets bored. She decides that, well, she can do better. Chad down the street, he's going to be interested in her. So she files for divorce. Suddenly, everything you've accumulated over the past few years is right out the window, because she's going to get the house, she's going to get the nice car, she's going to get the kids, and oh yeah, a nice portion of his income for the next few years, leaving him so broke that he ends up, wait for it, with lawn chairs as his furniture. Funny how that is. She doesn't lose anything. All that wealth gets transferred to her. And they know that, which is why they're the ones filing for divorce 80% of the time. Heck, they've even come up with a phrase for it. It's called a starter
Subscribe.
page. Then you see comments like this, that it's irrational for men to fear this. They should just sign up for it. Be willing to lose everything. Yet it happens to millions upon millions upon millions of men every single day. And when men look at that, the rational decision is to walk away from relationships and marriage. The rational decision is to understand there is no benefit. The risk far outweighs the reward. And men have finally come to that realization, which is why they're walking away. They're done. So you ladies can continue to mock us for it. I don't really see how that benefits you, but if it does, by all means, because in the end, the men are the ones who come out ahead.
It's definitely not an irrational or made-up fear. There are proofs and studies that back it up. Women initiate more divorces, and in some cases have come out financially ahead after one or more divorces. Yes, you heard that right. It's not fear of love. It's fear that she'll legally walk away with my money. Because, let's be honest, the system finds it convenient to take from the man to give to the woman. That's why we see women in their 30s looking for a provider to offer long-term financial security. And it's no coincidence that the divorce rate between ages 43 and 50 is 45%, right when the family has paid off assets like the house. Quite the coincidence. And why do you think the marriage rate in this country is between 27 and 33 years old, and divorces happen at 39 and 40? There's almost always a 7 to 8 year gap, which is when an average family finishes paying off their home. The math doesn't lie. The order of numbers doesn't change the outcome. Marriage, my friends, financially doesn't benefit a man.
He doesn't want you.
Ain't
That's why
lying.
he's not making plans with you. I got a lot of single girlies in this family, and we did have this chat last year, but it seems like we need another one. And of course I can speak on this because this is how I got wifed up and had all of you, my kids. If you're like, I can't tell if he likes me. He doesn't. Listen to me. If he wanted you, you would know. He would do anything. He would swim through shark-infested waters. He would move heaven and earth. He would walk barefoot on broken glass.
What?
Just to get to you. If he wanted you.
What?
He's not calling because he doesn't want you. He's not texting you because he doesn't want you. I know I sound harsh, but sometimes a mother needs to give tough love. You've heard it before. If he wanted to, he would. Because if he wanted to, he would. Here's the mindset switch, though. A man will really love a woman when she really loves herself, when she really prioritizes herself. Take your power back. Take it. You are not a desperate loser. When you love yourself so much more than you love them, I promise you, the right one will come along. You are that bitch. I love you, kids.
Stop it. Get some help.
Thank you.
There's something many
Had to
women
bring
don't
Michael in on this.
understand. Men discard in silence. Here comes the second part of my uncle's wise advice. Learn to show weakness in your needs. He was referring to using your needs as tests for women, especially if you're considering something serious. Let me give you some examples. Imagine you're at work grinding away for 9 hours, and your woman calls you, "Honey, where are you?" "I want to see you." You reply, "I'm tired. I've been working nonstop for 9 hours and I haven't eaten anything." You stay silent waiting for her reaction. If she says, "Well, when you're done and have eaten something, give me a call,"
Wow.
that woman just failed the test, my friend.
Wow.
Another example, you tell your girl you're going out on Friday. Friday comes and she calls to confirm. You say, "Sorry, babe, I had an unexpected expense and don't have any money. Plus, I'm a bit tired from work." You wait for her response. If she says, "Okay, we'll go out another day," she has failed once again. You're showing a weakness in a need you could handle yourself, but you want to see her reaction. If in the first case, she doesn't say, "Come over to my place, I'll cook something for you," or "I'll bring you something to eat at your place, honey." And in the second case, she doesn't say, "Baby, take a shower. I'll pick you up and it's my treat." Then that woman doesn't love you. Because, gentlemen, women are natural caregivers. If she doesn't perform acts of service for her man, she doesn't love him. That woman isn't wife material. When you stop being useful to her, she'll leave because she doesn't have genuine interest in you. So, pay attention to those signals. As my uncle used to say, forewarned is forearmed. And in this case, he was absolutely right.
Absolutely insane how much women expect from men that they're only dating. Men in the early dating stages do not owe you anything. Only thing a man owes you is connection, compatibility, a little bit of attention, but you're not his woman yet. Why does he have to pay your bills, pay you gifts, take you out on expensive dates, prove that he can earn your love? That's absolutely wild how some women act in the early dating stages. Men don't owe you anything. They have other responsibilities, bills as well. However, if you're his woman, then he can spoil you. You should never expect it. I'm just saying, women have a convoluted idea of how dating should be and what dating actually is about. Absolutely wild. Absolutely insane. Men don't owe you anything while dating.
Totally agree, my friends. This is where what I
Absolutely.
mentioned earlier comes into play. Nowadays, men sometimes mess up because when wooing a woman, we try to cover all her needs, wanting to be her superhero, her dad, her everything. And what happens? The woman never covers the man's needs. Sometimes, as I said, it's because that man always portrays himself as the super alpha male, never showing vulnerability in his needs. And that makes the woman not do acts of kindness for him and only focus on asking for more and more. Brothers, it's important to allow women to do things for you too. Cook you a meal, pay for a date, help you with a problem. Any need you have, let her invest her time, attention, or resources. It doesn't have to be all the time, but test the woman with small things. They love to feel useful and appreciated. If you doubt it, think about this. You surely know that woman who's a goddess and is dating a guy we all look at and say, what does she see in him? A textbook loser. But she's crazy about him. Why? Because that man allowed her to help him, to connect with her caring side, to feel that she's contributing to the relationship. For example, I cooked this for my partner. I helped my boyfriend with this. That makes the woman invest in the relationship. They like to feel needed and valued. That's why when a relationship ends, they sometimes say, that man is who he is because of me. I invested my valuable years and youth. Because she invested, and that's very important to them. So, you see, it's not about being the supermodel.
He is tired. He doesn't have any more to give. When he goes to work, someone needs him. When he comes home, someone needs him.
I
Someone
know.
always needs something from him.
Like some
Someone
chameleon work
always
here.
needs to speak to him, talk to him. He doesn't get even just a few minutes to himself. He doesn't get 5 minutes to cry or break down. If he has a bad day, he doesn't have time to process that or to have emotions. And on top of all of those things, if that's not enough, he still has to make sure that the bills are paid and that his family is taken care of and provided for. He is making sure that all of their needs are met. His needs are absolutely the last thing that he is worried about. His mental health is completely irrelevant. He just has to make sure that everyone else is provided for and that he protects his family. And yet we wonder and we question why men's suicide rate is so high. It's not that hard.
Do you know why I always tell you that your top priority should be yourself? Because a man who learns to prioritize himself is more productive, makes his family happier, and stays mentally healthier. Plus, he keeps himself in better physical shape and knows how to disconnect to stay calm when problems arise as the head of the family. That's why I support you taking time for yourself, even if you have kids or a partner. We recommend hitting the gym to unwind, having friends to go out and chat with. If your partner gets upset because you take a day to do something solo, it's important to communicate and find balance. Every man should reserve at least 1 day a month for himself. If your life falls apart just because you take 1 day for yourself, then the foundations of your castle might need some
One day
reinforcement.
out of a month?
You need to disconnect, play a sport, talk to a
Man,
friend, go fishing,
I do it
or
every
any
day.
activity you enjoy. Hopefully not video games, because I don't recommend those. It should be something that gets you out of the house for a few hours.
Yeah, but I love video games. Yeah, man. I take, a certain amount of time per day to myself. In the kind of world we live in, one day a month. Can't do that.
Hiding for a while they're done, they're taking a vacation from women. They're probably at home. If they're not at work, they're at home. And they're just watching TikToks of women horrified, being very, very happy that they made their choice to just be single and choose peace over crazy toxicity. Oh, and where are the good women? They're at home too. Yeah, they're at home looking like this. And all the other girls, they're out at the club, they're at the bar, dating the same 6'3" guy that's probably texting all of them. He has multiple girlfriends, and all the good people were at home on Reddit, probably going down a deep rabbit hole we shouldn't, scaring ourselves about the world, and just scrolling through our phones looking like this.
Like I always say, if you're really interested in
Wall
meeting a man, why
bangers.
not make the first move yourself? There's no need to be afraid. I'll bet you anything that 3 out of 5 times, you'll end up on a date. In fact, it's known that 60% of the time when a woman asks a man out, she gets the date. It's not magic, it's
Fact.
statistics. With those numbers, you shouldn't fear failure. Plus, you might have better luck finding a man with the qualities you like. There are plenty of good men out there who are simply tired of the same old games and wouldn't reject a woman who takes the initiative. Or is it that you're afraid of rejection?
Oh my God, there are just like no good guys out there. Everybody's terrible. Dating apps are the worst. Like every guy I meet is such an asshole. Like I just don't understand. Like I'm going to be single forever because it's just so hard out there. Want to know a secret where all the nice guys are? Yeah? Okay. Look around. They're everywhere, okay? They're the ones that you put in the friend zone. They're the ones on your dating app inbox that you've just ignored. They're the ones that have been repeatedly asking you out, but that you won't go out with because they don't make your stomach flip. Like that asshole traumatic guy that's unavailable, that's been stringing you along forever and that you can't let go of. So where's the real ownership that we have? It comes down to working on ourselves, getting over that toxic behavior so that we can see somebody for who they really are. Understanding that social media and the movies and everything has lied to you about what they believe a true relationship should look like. It's not as exciting as you think, but it can be secure and stable and wonderful. And there are amazing guys out there that would be a husband and a father and a friend to you. And you need to do the work so that you can wake up and actually see them.
There's a very curious cognitive bias where, when you desire something, for example, a white car of a specific brand, you might start seeing that car everywhere that month. Is it because there are too many of that car? Maybe. But it's more because your mind focuses on what you like. That's what it seeks. Women fall into this a lot. They like the chads, narcissistic, uninterested guys who sometimes treat them poorly, but stir up a roller coaster of emotions in them. These women go crazy for them. The man who has good intentions, who treats them well, sometimes there are several like that, they don't even notice them, as if they didn't exist. They're in what this woman calls the friend zone, on social networks, in activities they do. Simply put, their mind doesn't see them that way and passes over them. That's why, when they hit their 30s, whether because they've gone through a lot of suffering, want economic security instead of more excitement, or have hit the wall, as we know the wall doesn't forgive, that's when their tastes or interests change. They start wanting and looking for, giving chances to the beta provider, who offers them long-term economic security but doesn't spark any interest in this woman's sexual department. He's just her financial security. Be careful with this type of women who always complain about not having a partner. But you notice they always have men chasing after them because they're not looking for a relationship but a wallet on legs.
Where are all the good men? Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, ladies, but they're done. They've walked away from today's modern women. They're done with dating, done with marriage, done with relationships. And no, ladies, it's not because they're scared like you all are telling each other is the case. No, the real reason they're leaving is because they don't see a point in relationships anymore, because there is no point in relationships for today's men. They're expected to give while getting nothing in return. They're told that they need to honor, respect, and provide for women while never seeing it reciprocated to them in any way. They've been told time and again that they aren't needed, aren't wanted, aren't necessary, and that they should just go away and leave women alone. And ladies, we've heard you loud and clear. We've said, fine, if that's what you want, we're going to give it to you. And that, ladies, is where these good men are, off doing their own thing and enjoying life, because they are done.
Loving life.
Done dealing with the drama, narcissism, and insane expectations most of you have. Men are done with never being acknowledged, let alone appreciated for all that they do. So if you're wondering why all the men have walked away, there's your reasons.
I have always had my honest opinion about this. I don't like the idea of a man being alone. I believe that if you're a man who does things right, you shouldn't have to die alone. I know that women nowadays,
Well, my boy, you can have your opinion from your AI perspective, but it doesn't matter. And I'm really curious as to why there's so many men worried about other men and what they're doing. Because I know you'll make this, theory that, well, men that aren't doing what they need to do end up trying to go against the. You have no proof of nothing in recent history. You just have a fascination with worrying about what other men do and using it as a way to kind of gaslight us. You know what I mean? We don't care what you think. You mind your business, I'm gonna mind mine. Okay? If you think that men should be with women, congratulations. Good for you. I think that a man doesn't need a woman if he wants to have a woman. If he wants to, pursue women, that's great. But he needs to be going after his purpose in alignment with God. Period. There are plenty of men that have become monks and just decided to do away with whatever. You need not worry about that. This is gaslighting and a little bit of pandering. I'm guessing that there's a lot of more female subscribers on this channel now, because definitely has changed since last time I watched one of the videos. But we don't care. Okay. And any other man that decides to bring up, well, I don't like the fact that, why are you worrying about what other dudes are doing? Don't worry about it. You sound like the people in my comments. Oh, you pause the video too much and you watch me too much. Go find something else to do. Okay? I ain't gonna change nothing. You know what I mean? You wanna watch me and then want me to move like you want me to move. You better go find something else to do. All right? That's all I gotta say on that. But look, you guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Phone died. And hit the like button and share the video and drop a comment. Let's talk about it. Anyway, y'all, love and light. Forgot to plug that phone up, man. I'm out. I don't even know when it went out.